Hi, everyone. Welcome back into our next week here with local history. We're in week 3 of online learning. I want to go through a couple things. We're doing a pretty good job. Make sure to fill out the Google Forms. Make sure to play the quizzes games. That's the only way I can really give you a grade. And so you got to make sure to do those things. For the quizzes activity, only 7 out of our 10 classmates had completed it so far. So make sure you take care of those things. Again, I can't see if you open up the PowerPoints or Google Slides or anything. The only thing that I can really tell is I got to get feedback based off of what I see with the Google Forms you fill out, with the quizzes games you complete, things like that. And so altogether, make sure you do those things so that I can know that you've done your work and that I can give you a grade for it. Now, speaking of grades, I will be assigning grades here pretty quickly here, Monday, Tuesday, maybe even to Wednesday this week, and I'll be communicating with you via email. I also will send back some of the different forms that you sent to me to try to give you some personal feedback. But I wanted on here to go through the grading one more time. And so here we go. Now, hopefully you understand the whole 4-point scale that we're going with the entire high school. And for a 4, you have to be exceeding expectations. For me, what that's going to look like is you've done every assignment and you've done a fantastic job. You've been very thorough with your answers. You've scored well on those assessments. Also realize you can do everything more than one time. And I'm not going to be counting your first time, your first attempt. If you can get like 19 out of 19 on the quizzes, and if you get 8 out of 8 or 13 out of 13 upon the Google Forms, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I want. If you got 4 out of 13 on a Google Form, but yet you went into great detail with one of your questions, I still can't give you a 4 out of 4 for the week. You've got to make sure that you've done a pretty good job on these assessments. And so if you want to take them 2 times, 3 times, 4, whatever you want to do, take them as many times as you want to. You can keep taking those assessments until you get a perfect score. So to exceed expectations, you've got to get some good scores on these things. And you also have to give some very thorough answers on some of the Google Form things that I assigned to you. A 3 is simply meeting expectations. So you've done every assignment and you've done them fairly well. I'm not going to get too picky with things, but I expect you to give your best on these. And then a 2. A 2 is not terrible. And that's where some of us are going to be living right now if we did not do all the things. So if you do not complete every single assignment, the best I can really give you is an approaching expectations of 2 score. But the good news here is the way we are defining things here in this third trimester is if you get a 2, you'll pass for the class. And so you can have some 2 weeks here and there, and it's not going to hurt you that bad. I'd prefer if you live in the 3 to 4 range, but a 2 will still be passing. You just don't really want to be down in the 0 or 1, so make sure you avoid those. Now, for the week, we are moving past the Civil War. There are a couple other things that we are involved in the Civil War. Some of our regiments were actually there at the absolute end of the war and were able to celebrate when the Confederates finally surrendered to the Union. Now, some of those things are a little bit skimpy on some overall facts, so I wanted to skip ahead and get towards the end of our overall battle study, our military study. And what that takes us into is in Monday's lesson, that takes us into World War I and how we were involved in World War I, what we did on the home front, and also what our soldiers did overseas in France. On Tuesday, we're going to take a look at World War II and how we're involved in that war, how we also produced some military goods, military machinery, machine guns, tanks, all sorts of things for the war in World War II. But we also have some great heroes in World War II as well as in World War I. So Monday, Tuesday, World War I, World War II. On Monday, no assessment, nothing to complete there. On Tuesday, make sure to play the quizzes game. On Wednesday, we're going to take a look at something fairly personal to me and something that I hope you kind of take very seriously. And that is we're going to take a look at some of the heroes of Dallastown and also heroes of York County that have served and are serving in our military. It's not meant to be an end-all be-all of every single history of every single recent soldier we've had, but hopefully you'll at least get to feel like you know some of these individuals, some of these people that have paid the ultimate price and have laid down their lives for our country. And I want you to get to know them because they very much deserve it. And you also will have a Google Forms exit ticket at the end of that. So please make sure you fill it out. Then the rest of your week, we are moving on from our military unit and turning it into a business study, a little bit of a business hero study of York. The reason why we can have almost 500,000 people here in York is because we have tons of different businesses, tons of different jobs that are willing to employ us, that feel that York County is a great place to do business. And so I want you to look back at some of those business heroes. And what you're going to do is you're going to create a short, very short Google Slides presentation on one big time business hero of the 18 and 1900s. Now, with that, I'm trying to give you some resources. I've compiled resources. All you have to do is look at the resources, watch a video, look at an article, whatever you need to do to gather some information about your person. Pop that stuff into Google Slides, send it to me. So I'm going to assign it to you, send it back to me, and then next week we'll take a look at those so that we can get an overall understanding of some of the different business people that made York what it is today. And that's what you're going to do Thursday into Friday. So both on Thursday and Friday, creating that presentation is going to encompass your day. I also have created a sample presentation for you that you also can find on Google Classroom as well. So you can see my presentation as well as a screencast about what the expectations are of the product. Now, if you need to look at what's expected of you this week, this document's going to be there for you, but altogether, have a great week. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I haven't had hardly anybody actually ask me anything, and I'm going to assume that that's a good thing. But if you ever need anything, please let me know, and have a good one.